recording for the save. Hello everybody, it's Sam Kid Gaming. Hello, Twitch. I hope to see you rolling into the chat very soon. Okay. Are you ready? Taurus, speak up.
Yeah, I'm ready.
But are you ready to see the world as it was in 1857?
Yeah. Absolutely.
I'm warning you, considering that you didn't like Kaiserreich Legacy of the Weltkriegs map, you're not gonna like 1857, because it is not the modern world.
Alright.
New game. We're going to start as Sardinia-Piedmont because that's the historical Italy. It doesn't... Sardinia-Piedmont will eventually turn into the Italian Empire.
Okay.
Preparations for a new... Brief history. Preparations for a new Italy are complete. Cavour has proved his legitimacy with the alliance of the Crimean through screw diplomacy, and elevated the Kingdom of Sardinia to the order of the world powers. Sardinia-Piedmont has come a long way, but still a long road remains. The heart of the Roman Empire is controlled by the papacy. Papacy? The Pope. It's controlled by the Pope, and the southern Italy by the two Sicilies. How a new Italy will be sculpted is decided on how the three powers retain their balance in the peninsula and defend themselves from the cowering powers of Europe. I have no idea how to say this. There is Risorgimento?
Sounds good.
Risorgimento? Seems a step's pace far, but is a mile's march away.
I like the music.
So do I. May I introduce the world in 1857?
Wow, look at that. That's very interesting. Look at South America, the United States. Oh my gosh. Africa.
Great Qing, I believe. It's called Qing.
That is... Woo! It's like looking at a different planet.
Yeah, it was. I want to point out, the last game we did, by the way, I played the Sioux. The last game we did, it didn't work out so well. I managed to expand...
It didn't work out so well.
That was not a pun I intended to make. But it didn't work it did not work out so well. I didn't get invaded, but I had the very odd feeling that I was going to soon. I did expand a little bit, but I'm ready to leave that one behind for now. Mm-hmm. So, this is Germany, which I'm glad we won't have to worry about Germany until, like, I don't know, Steam can tell you when Germany unified, I know. I believe the French are on our side, which is good, and the United Kingdom won't get that interested in us, because they have to, like, India and stuff. The race for Africa has not really begun, with France beginning its start in Algeria. The United Kingdom's got Gambia, stuff like that. But we are playing Sardinia-Piedmont. That's about it, I have to say. I'm going to go into custom game rules. This might look like cheating for you guys, but I'm not going to strengthen myself. I'm not going to weaken any countries or strengthen any countries. Basically, I'm not going to make it... I'm not going to make it easier on myself. Well, a little bit. I'm going to make it a little bit easier on myself. So, basically, the first thing we're going to do with this is war goals. Let's make war goals limited instead of focuses only. I don't know why that's precisely a thing. I guess it's to, like, we won't do chaos. That actually makes it harder on myself, but it kind of makes it paves the way for me a little. Okay, military access and docking rights, free. Release nations, free. I don't know why that one would be. Production licenses, free. Lend-lease, limited. Volunteers, limited. Guarantee independence. I'm gonna say blocked.
Really?
It doesn't prevent anything, but that's by focus, and a lot of stuff is by focus. It just prevents, like, say I wanted to invade something, and it was democratic. And so literally every democratic power, including the United States, Britain, France, all of them guaranteed it, and so to go to war with that one small nation that wouldn't, like, actually mean anything in the grand scale of things in real life, now I have to go to war with, like, half the world because they all guarantee. That's how the AI works, so I'm just nixing that part because the AI is a little, annoying sometimes.
Oh. It's wonky.
It is, it's wonky. Revoke guarantees allowed. Coups free, boosting party popularity free. I think all that's good.
Awesome.
And
you want some nachos before you go?
I do. Now I did want to warn everyone, it's not that too much of a warning. It is. I didn't know what to expect when I went in with Sue, but I do want to point out nothing's too violent in this mod, obviously. It's Hearts of Iron 4, they kind of have to keep it that way. But I did want to point out, like, I know there's, like, an Italian island that when the Risorgimento starts, it's like a prison, but it becomes independent. I have no idea if this happened in real life, but, like, they become cannibals or something. I don't know.
Oh, man.
Like, it's terrible, but that's, like, the extent of about what could be mildly described. Just for any who are, like, just really... I don't think any of my fans are, though, considering they've watched me take over the world as, like, Bavaria before. I don't think anyone's, like, concerned with the littler things. They're concerned with the bigger stuff. But still, I found it an equal thing to just put a thing out, you know. Is that Monaco? Can you play as Monaco in this mod?
Whoa.
Protectorate of Monaco! You can play as Monaco! San Marino, I expected. That's this little dot here, by the way.
Yeah.
This little dot. San Marino, I expected to be able to play as. Andorra, I expected to be able to play as. The tiny... I did not expect to be able to play as Monaco.
You can do that next time, right?
I could, but I feel like I maybe don't want to, because that's going to be very, very hard.
Challenging.
Like, I understand that the Sue was challenging, but I made my way, right? Monaco is darn near implayable.
You do that next time. You're gonna have to do it.
It's implayable, but I mean, yeah, I could try. Let me get a bite of those nachos before I begin.
Those are yours.
Ah, thank you. I'll be giving this back to you anyways. And don't worry, my fans already saw me eat a Subway sandwich on stream. This is no different.
The music is fitting. There you go. It's missing green olives and avocado, but...
Yes, avocado would be very nice. Well, I'll hand those back to you for now. I'll check the chat quick. Hello, hi! Hello, Ethan and Steam. Steam has been here for every one of my streams.
Shout out.
And I believe every single one, almost every single one of my videos, especially Iron Soul.
Thank you.
Sue Lower Yellowstone, Sue. Ha! That's a reference to my last game, Sue Lower Yellowstone, Sue. 1871, that's when Germany unified. I told you Steam could tell you exactly when Germany unified. How are you doing, TDG? I am doing just fine today. How are you? Was the year that the Kingdom of Fresh Fire unified the German people into the German Empire. I'm guessing that's related to Death Island. That's the prison thing I was talking about. It's weird.
Oh, wow.
The guy who ran it experimented on the mentally ill during World War II. Oh, really?
Hi.
Because I thought that was like 1890. Thanks. Filippo Chess 13. Yes, Filippo Chess has been here for a lot of the streams as well.
Awesome.
Hey, okay. So, without further ado, with our chat checked, let us begin. Let me get those nachos back.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Sorry, they're so good. There's more in there.
They are genuinely so good. I have a lot of reading here to do if I remember correctly.
Alright. And your fans know that you can't get to the chat until, like, certain times and stuff, because You have a different screen up now, eh?
Mm-hmm.
Just, if you want more nachos, I can get some.
Thank you.
End of a New Beginning, 1857 to 2050.
Indeed.
Interesting.
This is probably the longest lasting mod on Hearts 4.
Yeah, I bet it is.
And that is why I run
How
it on...
fast are the days?
I can make them as fast as I really want them. Well, except on that computer. Because I run this mod specifically on my gaming PC. Because my laptop is... It's medium end. It's breaking apart at the seams, but it's medium end. And that thing cannot run it. This is the only PC... There are so many comments on this mod that say, this mod is so slow.
Well, let's
A high-end PC, I don't even have a really high-end PC. I mean, it's not really, really high-end, but I mean, it's...
GeForce,
I'm not sure. So it's but it's a good PC,
right.
It's a good PC. You need a good PC to run this mod. I don't want to boast, but I'm just trying... I'm not trying to boast, but I'm trying to say... Seriously. To run this mod fast, it requires me to get onto this PC. End of a New Beginning, 1857 to 2050. Welcome to the End of a New Beginning mod, GitHub edition. I don't know, I thought it's GitHub edition. End of a New Beginning is a total conversion project that aims to simulate 200 years of world history via the Hearts of Iron 4 experience. Unlike other Hearts of Iron 4-based mods, End of a New Beginning is not intended to be played as a combat-based map painter, but instead details the political, economic, and societal changes that dramatically reshape the human experience to modern day. End of a New Beginning is still under heavy development. Users with low-end devices may experience noticeable lag and crashes. Update 0.2.7 Verturses. Compatibility patch for Hearts of Iron 4 Barbarossa update with no step-back expansion additions. We don't have to go through that because that's just the newest update. In-game settings, I believe I said this. Defines economic disabled, agencies enabled, tribals enabled, rebellions under development. I can get pandemics eventually. Oh boy, we're gonna have pandemics and economics and rebellions and eventually this mod is gonna be under so much heavy development. When it comes out, I honestly hope that it is not gonna be like Millennium Dawn, where you have to like, or you know what? I really hope it's not I hope it doesn't turn out like Last Days of Europe. Not Kaiserreich, but the Last Days of Europe mod is when Germany won World War II. That's the alternate history mod. And that thing, I can play it on that computer, but it is mine.
When you say that computer,
I can play it on my other computer that is less, but oh, it is. That mod is just so mind-bendingly hard to understand. This isn't, though, mainly because it's not finished and therefore the economics are not added. Flavor and content. Controversial, I want to say enabled, but at the same time I'm not going to show if that... I mean, I guess we're not going to get to 1933 that fast, right? We're not going to get to, like, the sus Germany that quick, and I'm assuming controversial means that we're going to get the sus German flag. I can turn that off once we get there. Easter eggs disabled. I'm going to say disabled still, because this is, like, just stuff that's, like, the Discord and community added. Maybe I'll get, like, one for me eventually, considering how long I played this. Not gonna... Any devs watching? Music enabled. I want to keep it. Advised content creator setting. Advised, so... Custom music that adds to the Hearts of Iron 4 back. Some music might be copyrighted, and content creators using this setting do this at their own risk. So I can disable that, but you know what? I'm gonna keep it enabled. If I get copyright struck, I can edit the video. Basically, I'll be alright. I'm not gonna unite Africa.
We don't need the music.
I've had some stuff done before. It's okay. I can now enter end of a new beginning. Peru starts out immediately in a civil war for some reason. State names, Italian, regional dialects, or English. This mod gives you the option to play with Italian names for victory points within Italian territories. Do you want to enable this? For immersion purposes, enabling the regional dialects is highly encouraged. If enabled, all victory points will appear under their regional dialect denominations, with further decisions upon unification to standardize the Italian language across the peninsula, in part changing the name of cities. You should be warned that these dialects for most of history have been considered languages of their own, and in some instances can vastly differ from the modern designations. Yes, I want the regional dialect names.
You need to take a drink of water.
Tea.
Iced tea. How fast are your days?
It's on pause right now, but I'll set it to the highest setting so we can just kind of blitz past, because we don't want to...
Okay.
So, I want to check out, with that regional dialect setting, what the new names are. So, this is Sicily, so it's on a Sicilian, I assume. Look at all these Sicilian language. Napoli is Napur. That's Sicilian. Palermo is Palermo.
Really?
So these are regional dialects before Italian was like the main language.
Okay.
Roma. I believe they call it Roma in Italy.
Uh-huh.
Yes. Vaticano instead of Vatican.
Maybe
Vatican.
it could be Napoli. But, I mean, how? What's
Napur. Napur. Because it's under Sicilian rule right now. I haven't unified the Italian language under, so
Okay. Oh,
Zena, I believe that Turin as what's the as Murder on the Orient Express taught us, Turin.
Turin instead of Turin. Yes, that's right.
The emphasis on the wrong syllable.
Yeah.
Turin instead of Turin. Parma, Modena instead of Modena. That's cool. That's you have Modena and haha. This is cool. I can't wait to unify the Italian language though and make it like the modern day, because it's gonna be a little bit interesting. Okay, so we have a bunch of grades. Hey, look, it's Giuseppe Garibaldi, that guy who becomes a dictator eventually. We know that. We know this. We know this. We know that he becomes a dictator eventually because of we played this already. Now Taurus has just momentarily left the room. No reason to call that. Oh yeah, I forgot. We have Sicily as well. I mean Sardinia-Piedmont. We need 15 divisions to like fully have a guard for. Yeah, okay, I get it. Oh, we have a painfully low, small focus tree. That's okay. As soon as we unite Italy. This path is currently a work in progress. Okay, that's a work in progress path, so we don't have to do that. We can't really do anything except Risorgimento. Italy has been divided for long enough. Our nation shall take up the task of unifying it under our banner. The Risorgimento shall commence. Can anyone tell me how to state Steam? Task. How do you say Risorgimento? Thanks, hi. Okay, I forgot the Kingdom of Piedmont Sardinia had some land in mainland Italy. Oh no. Anyways, cool. What is Florence? I'm not sure what Florence is. Can you make Florence your capital rather than Rome? No idea, sorry. I don't... Yeah, I have no idea what it is. I'm not sure what Florence is. I'm assuming...
Italy.
Is it south?
I think it... Is it north? I think it might be north.
Florence, Italy.
I know where Naples is because.
Florence. Venezia, by the way, instead of Veneto. Because that's Lombard.
Okay.
I believe
I don't
language.
know where Florence is. Is that? I think that's northern.
Florence, Italy.
I guess I can look on my phone.
City in Tuscany.
Ooh. Nice. I'd like to go to Tuscany.
Where's Tuscany?
In the middle.
In the center.
Yeah, center.
Okay. I'm just looking for anything that vaguely looks like Florence.
It would start with an F,
I'm assuming.
as in, you know, Sicilian. It would be Perugia, Florence.
I've no idea what Florence is. We'll find it as soon as we unify Italy. We'll find it. And then we'll decide whether Rome or Florence is a better.
Are
So,
they from Florence?
I'm assuming,
That's what
maybe.
I'd like to know.
Maybe. Are you from Florence? Okay, we actually have military factories this time. Do you remember all the other times when we had no military factories? Fun times when we had no military factories at all to worry about, and we just had to unite like tribes. That was all I had as the Sioux. I didn't have to worry about any of this panel because the Sioux had no military factories or civilian factories, so I just had to do it like as. Oh, it's west of San Marino.
It's north of Rome and west of San Marino. South of Bologna. Bologna.
Yeah.
So if you could find Siena, Pisa, it's east of Pisa.
So it's east of
Yeah,
It's east of Pisa.
Is it Firenze?
Oh, it might not. No. Ooh. I wonder. Did Florence have a massive popularity boost after 1857? What I'm wondering is maybe Florence wasn't a popular town. Like
It's gotta be that. There's Pisa and there's some.
Firenze, you think?
It is Firenze. It's gotta be because there's.
Florence. Firenze.
There's
Well, it starts
Pisa.
with an F. Yeah, I knew it would.
It's Summers.
Okay, so it's Firenze. Firenze.
It is.
Firenze is Florence.
All right. You want to start there?
Hmm?
I mean, continue.
Okay, so okay. What do we? Where's our? Oh, there it is. It's deployment. We got a little bit of a different setup here. So we need cannons, uniform. Oh, so we don't need support. I love the Axis themes in this. The bad guy themes in this. This is made for World. This is a song by Paradox made for World War II. The Paradox is the same game that creates like the music for City Skylines, by the way. But they did a lot better of a job on war music. What's this one called again?
Yeah.
The Tanks Land or something? Operation Barbarossa.
I know. That's nice.
Axis theme. I believe they use a little bit of leitmotifs for like the Axis and stuff too. I want to play like a song for the children of World War II as soon as this one ends. You'd cry at a song for the children of World War II because that, I genuinely think you would. Because that.
Not tonight.
That song
Not
is.
today.
That song for the children of World War II nearly makes me cry. And I don't easily. Cannons. Cannons. So we need. Is this a cannons? Cannons. Gotcha. So we can now start making our own military. Military. Where are we? There we are. Wait, this one here. We can now start making our own cannons and everything. Cool. Okay, so, oh dear, we have a pitiful, civilian factory industry. Luckily, we have enough. Oh, is Monaco our puppet? So I could do 2... Basically, I'll create 2 civilian factories there, 2 civilian factories there, and then I'll militarize Sardinia, Sardigna. There we go. Oh dear, we have a nice amount of progress down our industrial tree already. We'll definitely need some more factory output, so let's do that. I want to point out as well, Taurus. So the research trees that we research, right? It goes from.
Wow, look at all that.
And we're not anywhere near our own.
I see that. That's interesting. So are you gonna do like part 1, part 2?
Oh, we're gonna do so many part 1s. We are gonna do so. We're gonna do so many parts.
Yeah. Cool. What are you gonna do? Like a
Mechanical engine.
15-minute?
I don't know.
Because if it's too long, I mean.
I normally do about an hour each. I mean, I normally do it longer than an hour, but I'm thinking an hour each.
I would say.
Like, look at how long we go. And even with, I'm glad that there's one thing we won't have to worry about. Because guess what? In 1857, no planes! So I don't have to worry about aviation, which knocks out like a large amount of, you know what I mean? Okay, never mind. Let's begin. Oh, influence Monaco. Ooh, the future of Monaco. Naval Command. Gather political legitimacy. We'll definitely need to establish military because we need manpower. Really, really good manpower. I think we're gonna have to like as well as Sardinia-Piedmont. All right, as soon as we stop, we gotta. A number of events promoted Piedmont's prestige in Italy and abroad. In March 1854, France and England intervened in support of the Ottoman Empire against Russia in the Crimean War. To obtain Austrian support, they were prepared to guarantee the status quo in Italy. Only Piedmont was in a position to disrupt it at that time, and Cavour negotiated an alliance with the Western powers. In May, he sent to Crimea an army that performed brilliantly. As a result, Piedmont was able to assume a place among the victors at the Congress of Paris in February 1856. From this platform, Cavour, achieving a diplomatic coup for Piedmont and Italy, declared that the only threat to peace in Italy and the root cause of subversive plots was the burdensome Austrian overlordship. Cavour's pronouncements at the Congress increased the standing of Piedmont among nationalists. Alla Vittoria. Here we are, everyone! Borsalino luxury hat company founded in Alexandria. Borsalino was founded recently in the city of Alexandria, making it the first luxury clothing brand in the Italian peninsula, specializing in hats and other related accessories. The founder, Giuseppe Borsalino, has gained notoriety in the region for his particular model of felt hat, setting Borsalino apart from other European competition. Is this a song? No, that's We Are Soldiers. Okay. The revolution, we have so much to read. The revolutions of 1848. In 1848, many revolutions struck Italy, notably having started at the autonomous region of Palermo and Sicily, separatist movements promoting the separation of Sicily from Naples and adopting a more liberal government. The former of which was quickly suppressed by the king, but the latter was accepted, and Ferdinand II of the Two Sicilies became the first of many to support a liberal constitution. Others quickly followed, including Leopold II of Tuscany, Charles Albert of Sardinia-Piedmont, and Pope Pius IX of the Papacy. The Austrian government, though, thought otherwise, as they did not yet yield to the pressure for liberal reform in their Italian holdings. Instead, garrisons had reinforced the border of Lombardy-Venetia, and opposition leaders arrested in Venice and Milan. Only a few days later, a sudden wave of revolutionary insurgents swept across the Austrian Empire, while Venetian and Milanese insurgents moved to depose their Austrian overlords. Within only a few days, the Austrian army retreated, and nearly all of Lombardy-Venetia was in control of the revolutionaries. It took a matter of months for the Austrian Empire to retake control of the state from the rebels and left a scar that will cripple the empire for years to come. The failure of 1848. Calamitous discords had swathed across European soil, and the Austrian Empire had suffered the worst in its Italian land of Lombardy-Venetia. More importantly, King Charles Albert conceded to the liberals, who aimed to establish a constitutional monarchy. Following the transition, he would go on to march his army into Austrian territory to support the rebels in Venice and Milan. His army was joined by soldiers from the then liberalized governments of Duke Leopold in Tuscany, King Ferdinand in the Two Sicilies, and volunteers from Sicily and the Papal States. Despite some success in the dawn of his campaign, King Charles' army would later be defeated at the Battle of Custoza, forcing a humiliating armistice until peace negotiations could be made. The defeat saw all liberal governments but Sardinia-Piedmont crumble to the Austrian demand for the renunciation of constitutions and the confirmation of absolutism. That brings us to now. Pause. Rally against the Austrians. The Kingdom of Piedmont-Sardinia stands as the last independent Italian state, still refusing to succumb to Habsburg influence. The southern Kingdom of Two Sicilies has married into the Habsburg Empire. Venetia has been given to the Austrians after the Congress of Vienna, and the smaller states are under Austrian protection. Our people support a strong and powerful government centered around our king, who vows to fulfill the dreams of a united Italy. As we stand as a barrier between Austrian and French spears, if we play our cards right, perhaps we can tumble the Austrian tower of cards. Our time has come. I paused the music for a specific reason, and that's because I have a little song here that I just mentioned called A Song for the Children of World War II, and I'm going to play it now in the background.
But it's not World War II yet, is it?
It's not.
You should play it fittingly.
It'll come on eventually sometime. It's got to be the most powerful track in the Hotline for goosebumps, this one. Reconstruction of Prismates in Alessandria. Alessandria has long been a victim to the floods of the Tanaro. Luckily, the Parliament of Sardinia-Piedmont took note of the damage caused by the floods and passed a bill to reconstruct Prismates to protect the fortifications of Alessandria against the floods of the Tanaro. The new bolstered defenses will afford us the ability to build safer in the city and provide security to those who have been affected. Alessandria is safer now. Piedmont, add 2 building slots. Cool. Such a nice tune. The Protectorate of Monaco. The Congress of Vienna had transferred the protection of Monaco from the French to the Piedmont via the Treaty of Stupinigi, as well as full dominion over the state. The treaty states, "This land shall never fall under a foreign government," which was unanimously agreed in negotiations despite an uneven relationship between our king and the King of Monaco. With the people, we are feared, as we have sent many garrisons to destabilize and annex parts of the principality. More things to handle. We're going to get some manpower. Hold speech. I'll lead a hold speech. High political stability. The United States took one state. Seminole tribe was annexed. Risorgimento. Was planned, so we can go down this way. Oh yes, and this is our focus tree. So we take a... How's the song, by the way?
It's humbling. It's very sweet. But it's yeah. It's a little. There's a little bit of depression in there, you know.
I really
That's
like
the
it.
title.
It's
It's very sweet and something that you hear in Lord of the Rings after Gandalf falls or something like that.
a song for the children of World War II.
Yeah, that's it's melancholic and there's a little bit of inspiration in there, but.
Yes. Well, this is our focus tree.
Okay.
So basically what I do is I take a focus and I select one, right? And every few days, that focus will be completed. And then once that focus is completed, it'll start off a chain of events, or it'll give me a few rewards in return. And I have to basically, like, navigate that focus tree to, like, take the thing, take the certain things in a way that I will need them. You know, I can't just take one randomly. I'll have to, like, play that right. You know what I mean? Okay, so this is the only one I can take right now. Cavalar's plan. Prime Minister and Court of Cavalar Camillo Benzo has big plans for the future of Sardinia-Piedmont. A staunch supporter of the unification movement, Benzo has avoided relying on the radical sentiments of the 1848 revolutions, and rather pulls on the strength of Sardinia-Piedmont combined with nationalistic movements in order to organize a Sardinia-led unification. That's the only one we can take right now. What it's going to do is give us some stability and a lot of legislative power. And with that legislative power, I'm going to take some of these things that I didn't know I had before, but I'm going to anyways now. Military academy reform, that's gonna be nice for 100 days especially. Yeah. Military draft law, yeah, we can do that. Anything that gives us manpower. Don't know what this is gonna do, but I feel like I might want to do that in Sardinia. Don't know. Develop the Piedmontese homeland. I will need to do that. Gains base stability. Yeah, sure, I can do. Well, no, I don't need to do that yet. I don't want to do it. Found naval command. I could found a naval command, but I don't feel like I want to right now. No need. How's our industry looking, by the way? It's still looking horrible. Oh dear. The French take ever more land out of Algeria. Modify government. What can I do? Advisor. Advisors, I suppose. Let's say power gain and stability, yeah. Or consumer goods factories and research. Yeah, I'm gonna go with the research speed guy. I think that's gonna be the best here. South African Republic declares war on the Orange Free State. That's the Boer War, isn't it? The Ponza Island prison break. I believe this might be what I was talking about. Over 300 prisoners have escaped from a prison on Ponza Island after they were assisted in a prison break. Many of the prisoners were political prisoners, including many notorious figures from the revolutions of 1848. The Neapolitan authorities have since re-established order at the penitentiary and deployed the Real Marina to survey the surrounding waters for vessels that could be harboring the escaped convicts. Hopefully nothing comes of this. Oh boy, I sure hope nothing comes of that at all. Pastillion. In the town of Alba, Luigi Leon has founded a candy company under the name Pastilgi Leon. Prime Minister Caviar has taken a special liking to the company's products and has even eaten them while giving speeches. Issue a royal warrant of appointment. Good! Good. We get some stability out of that as well. Overwhelming political stability. That's not something I've not gotten in. The failure of the Pisacane edition. Carlo Pisacane, along with his band of Sicilian political prisoners and petty thieves, has perished following his attempted expedition into Sapri in the Kingdom of the Two Sicilies. Pisacane was thought to have been working with Mazzinian circles to attempt to invoke an insurrection against the Bourbon monarchy in the Two Sicilies. The local peasants had been warned ahead of the time of the expedition and were told that the members were raiders looking to pillage the local towns, which wasn't the case, but they got lied to. Thanks to the propaganda from Bourbon authorities, Pisacane and his band were immediately attacked by the locals. Despite being able to flee the initial attack, Pisacane and his remaining band were killed by local militia and peasants just days later, with some reports even claiming that cannibalism and other wicked activities were done to members of the expedition. Following the expedition, pro-Mazzini riots broke out in Genoa and Florence In Florence? I thought it was Firenze! Before supporters were arrested in Piedmont, supporters of the plot are rumored to be facing charges that could lead to their exile to England. The era of radicalism in Italy is still upon us, unfortunately. The Sapri expedition. An expedition led by Mazzini and Carlo Pisacane into Sapri Campania has been put down. Much of the work to apprehend the criminals involved was done by the local populace. Having been informed of a prison break on the island of Ponza Praia, the local peasants massacred over 20 of the conspirators and handed 150 over to the Gendarmes. I believe that's an army. Following clashes with the local peasants, Pisacane and the rest of his band retreated to Sanza, where they were attacked again by the local populace, losing almost 100 more men. It was there where the sub-chief of Sanza, Sabino Leviana, killed Pisacane, while one of the other leaders of the expedition, Giovan, committed suicide. It has been said of the expedition that the populace of these towns and the city guards were incredibly brutal. Alright, the Mazzinians have been defeated, right in Genoa. Supporters of Mazzini and Genoa were apprehended trying to hand out letters in support of rioting and support of the failed Pisacane expedition. Two of the leading conspirators have been identified as Jessie M. White and her boyfriend Alberto Mario. While nothing major has occurred and the riot did not spread far, Cavallard has ordered the police to be on alert for any remaining Mazzinians who might challenge the Piedmont government. The conspirators who are captured are expected to be exiled, same as Mazzini once was. Mazzini continues to haunt Italy. That was reading.
Yeah, it was.
Holy crap! And there is more where that came from, because we are not even a few months into this mod. And this mod runs for 200 years. Orange Free State and South African Republic have signed a light peace. End of the prison British hulks. Prison hulks or prison ships have been used throughout the last 300 years, that's like 1500s to now, as a way to transport prisoners across the ocean. The British are most famous for the transportation of prisoners to their different colonies throughout the world. During the Revolutionary War and the Napoleonic Wars, the use of prison hulks increased drastically throughout the world. Today, the last prison hulk will leave the British mainland carrying prisoners. Times are changing. Oh wow, Afghanistan owns some of what is now Pakistan. Chat check! boy. No idea, sorry, so no idea was sorry back was when I said, like, how do you pronounce Risorgimento? I don't like disappointing people, it's perfectly fine. All I know is it's Northwestern. Oh, that's Florence. Look up what Florence is in local dialect. Okay, cool. Build tonks, as Bob Marley used to say. Haha! Yes, you'll be seeing a lot more of him in the future, wink wink. I have plans. I have big plans. Build big plans indeed. Build tonks. I would build tanks, I don't think I have them yet. Promise me you'll at one point do the Italian dream, that land they wanted in Croatia, Slovenia, and Austria. I will. I'm gonna take as much as I can. They got the Austrian land and some of the Croatian and Slovene land, but not all. First time chat from viewer. The mod has such a massive research tree for no reason at all. It does! As well as that French mainland land and Corsica, the Italian dream. I love the descriptions in this mod. I do too. I wish they put more time into some country focus trees. I do as well. It's better than Italy's regular focus. It still is better than Italy's regular focus tree until the DLC. I'm not even sure if the DLC is going to take care of that one. Italy's always been neglected by the Paradox mods for some reason. I just pre-ordered the DLC, so I get a fire song. I want to do that too. Play the song for the Chosen of World War II. I did, yep. Also, Krakow and D-Day sound cool. Those do sound cool. Play Allied speeches for epic morale boost. I played Song for the Chosen of World War II in 1857. I feel like maybe I'll do that when we get there. My favorite Churchill speech is when he said, "Dual blah, blah, blah." That sound was great. What speech was that? R.I.P. I'm glad there aren't ads on this stream. I don't think I'm monetized. If I get monetized, I feel like there might be. But I'm not gonna get that far. Yeah. I was trying to watching a Tommy K stream, don't know who that is, but yeah. There's a 2-minute ad every 5 minutes. Oh, that sucks. Have you thought of changing your YouTube channel to a Hearts of Iron 4 channel? No.
Separate things soon, aren't
I'm gonna have a couple of separate things, but I'm still gonna have like a bunch of different games. Plus, I wouldn't want to just exile all the Iron Assault fans. Click to manage your subjects. Everything's good. Okay. I have more advisors? Oh, it's just that guy again. Here, Wars plan. Army experience. Yeah, army experience. We can do army experience. Schools for... I don't know what this is. I'm gonna take it though. Oh, so we just finished a manpower. Look for assistance support for Garibaldi. Oh, I don't have... Look for assistance. Okay, so now we have a split in the focus tree. Ah. We have a lot of things to do, actually. I think I'm going to go down, just before I go down any of these, where I can actually start unifying Italy. Domestic development. So it is the most industrialized nation in Italy. Geez, is it? Unfortunately, this status is far less grand than it may seem due to our reliance on artisans for most of our production. To truly take our rightful place first in Italy and then in Europe, we must begin to expand and modernize our industrial capacity. I agree. Our industrial capacity is not very nice. Wetterberg stands against liberalism. Oh dear. That has nothing to do with us. I'm gonna stop reading things that aren't, like, directly related to us or, like, the massive, you know, the world itself. State of the economy. Sardinia-Piedmont has come a long way since Camillo Benzo de Cavour's appointment in 1850. Cavour immediately began work on constructing a modern economy for the nation, closing excessive monasteries, reducing the amount of beneficiaries, and correcting the nation's lopsided spending deficit in order to finance major public works projects and extensive industrial expansion, as well as to pay off war indemnities to Austria acquired after the war in 1848. Cavour masterfully floated vast internal and international loans, particularly from France and the United Kingdom. The subsequent subsidiation of private railway companies in Sardinia-Piedmont diverse artisan-based industrial sectors has led to the nation's rise to becoming the most advanced and modern state within the Italian peninsula. We must continue to strengthen the economy.
Wow.
Ah! Industrial finance. While Sardinia may not be the most wealthy, we have the credentials and standing internationally to find investors for the modernization of our economy. By relying on a treasury, the rich elite of Sardinia, and both foreign investors and loans, we will possess enough funds to begin a modernization of our economy. We will begin this process by moving away from the traditional agrarian orientation of our national economy. Let's industrialize. We get some more consumer goods, but I think we there's no use, there's no need for them anyways at this point. No opposition left. Japanese gold crisis.
Gold crisis?
After centuries of near complete isolation of Japan from the world stage has allowed Japan's politics, reforms, and economy to remain unaffected by the changes of global norms, one of which was the great inflation of silver supplies introduced by the European colonization of the Americas during the 17th and 18th centuries. While empires across the globe, from Britain, Spain, the Ottomans, and even the Qing succumbed to the decades of silver inflation, the Japanese until now had remained undisturbed by increased global supplies of silver. The recent developments of the Amity Treaties, a collection of trade treaties forcing Japan to open its economy and market to select Western powers, has finally forced Japan to confront a world greatly changed since it first isolated itself 400 years ago. Its age-old exchange rate of 5 silver to 1 gold is outdated, and in the eyes of governments and merchants abroad alike, a good deal, as global standards now currently place the exchange rate at 11 silver for 1 gold. Now merchants from all over flocking to Japan, if allowed, seeking to buy up Japanese gold while it was still cheap. We're gonna need some consumer goods. We're gonna need to knock down the consumer goods. We're gonna need to be able to spend that. French fleet near Tunis. The execution of Bateau Safez, a Jew accused of having insulted Islam, aroused great indignation in Jewish communities all over Europe. France has been claiming a protege of the Jewish community in Tunisia for years, and this event represented a clear action of the Bey Muhammad II, Ibn al-Hussein, who has been following the advice of the most radical Malachites against the influence of foreign countries in Tunisian affairs. This morning, a French fleet composed of 9 vessels armed with 700 guns presented itself in La Gouette. The admiral commanding this fleet was sent in La Marsa, where the Bey was, and put him on notice to introduce a text of reforms along the lines of Tanzimat, and a declaration of human rights, Ad al-Amain, of 11 points stating the security of private assets, the equality in legal and fiscal matters, restrictions to military service, basic human rights, and most importantly, the possibility for foreigners to own houses, orchards, or land. It seems like a purely economic reason, and it won't end well. Industrial financing, yeah.
Why do some of those shine?
Those are the ones that I can take currently.
Okay.
Alright, actually, I just realized most of our industrialization, they don't actually give us that much. So we should go down these, I believe. Is this deploy the tanks? Current track access theme. Look for assistance. 35 days. After getting our support in the Crimean War, many European nations view favorably upon our nation, especially in our struggle against the Austrians and the greater goal of unification. Kavar has announced that diplomatic channels will be utilized to negotiate and create deals with the major European nations who might support our goals. So we're going to take that. By the way, I have a choice here. So I can do Memories of the Crimean War, right? And then I have to choose who I seek to get assistance from to unify Italy. Because I can't do it as my own. I can't, like, take on the Austrian Empire and everything my own. So I'm going to need some help from a foreign power.
What countries have helped you in the past?
All three of these.
Oh, okay.
And here's the thing. I know for a fact that one of these will probably work. Because I've seen it in my Sue game. I saw it go down. I saw the Risorgimento go down under an Italian AI.
Really?
They chose
You could also ask
France.
anybody that's watching which way should you go.
That's true.
Or
I would say France, just personally, because we already know that France is they're close by, they're just
Right.
across the border, so they can just send troops right over.
Yeah, and that makes
Plus-
the most.
Plus, I know they help. I know they probably will help.
You could go with something just really out there, like off the wall, something really out there.
Like Russia, then.
Yeah, I mean you could just mess it up a little bit. I mean, as a challenge, or you could just go with something that is safe, like France.
I feel like I want to go safe because I don't want to end the game. You know what I mean?
Right, I get it.
Like
get
if
it.
I
Next time you should really try something like different. Or ask your
Oh, it
fans
looks
that
like I
may
can-
watching.
it looks like I might be able to go with everyone actually.
Why don't you check your messages and see if
Right after this news thing that just popped up.
Oh, okay.
The Panic of 1857. Financial experts were shocked today as the United States stock market dropped, sparking an economic crisis within the country. The panic began in September 1857 with the failure of the Ohio Life Insurance and Trust Company. The railroad industry was hit with financial pains and was forced to lay off hundreds of workers. President James Buchanan addressed the nation, accusing the paper money system to be the cause of the panic. The world watches now, wondering what this economic downturn will bring. Oh dear. The crash of 1857. What can be the end of all this but another general collapse? James Gordon Bennett. The rails give way. Contract. The Red Army. Something relating to Russia. I wonder if that's the game just telling me to... Cool. He's a hard to find for YouTuber. Okay, so I'm checking the chat right now. Somebody said they're watching a Tommy K. He's a hard to find for German. Hard to find for YouTuber. I feel betrayed if you did that. Wait. Well, you see, I'm reading ones from the past, so I don't know which ones he's talking about. And if you did that, do the Garibaldi one. It looks better for forming Italy. Steam is down.
Uh-oh.
What? I'm on though. I'm on hotspot. What? No, I'm fine. It's down in some U.S. city.
Really? Is
Which
there a
U.S.
storm going?
cities?
Is there a storm or something?
Which U.S. cities? What? I don't even live in the U.S. Lol, gold. Britain, because you should take Corsica later and that mainland French land. I choose Russia. Russia is strong and borders Austria, so they will move troops to Russian border.
You might want to try something different.
I choose Britain. Rule Britannia. Britannia rule the waves. Britain shall never be slaves. Is he singing
Yeah.
Britannia rule the waves? You singing Britannia rule the waves, Steam? I'm not sure. I think I can do both. I'm pretty sure I might be able to do all of them, actually.
Really?
Maybe. Maybe. We'll see.
Yeah, okay.
Bolivia's in a civil war. The Piedmontese stand united. Our country has recently experienced a period of peace and prosperity, and our people stand united. That's great. Legislative power or improved relations. I'm gonna get an improved relations thing anyway, so legislative power. And legislative power, I believe, will be donated directly into getting less consumer goods. Directly into consumer goods, because I need to be able to build things. And currently, like, I have one improved percussion cap. Okay. Encourage resistance in Italy. Cavalier has approved Sardinian agents to measure the activities of the Italian nationalist movements throughout the peninsula and assist them when possible. The hope being that these movements would eventually support us as leaders of the unification movement. Wow, there's a lot of things to do here. Diplomacy has always been an integral aspect to the survival of Sardinia-Piedmont, and now for the furthering of the unification movement. Since the entrance of Sardinia into the Crimean War, our political leaders have had their eyes set on the major nations of Europe, looking for support in the struggle against Austria and those who will stand against unification. Why is it 700 days? Postal agreement with Modena. Our parliament recently negotiated a new postal convention in cooperation with the Duchy of Modena. This new accord is expected to improve the promptness of the flow of international mail between our two states through the removal of prior inflated bureaucracy regarding the traversal of merchandise. The agreement in part details extended cooperation in the field of communication and the creation of mail lines supported by steamships along with vestigial land routes. I'll send a letter to the Duke. U.S. Consular Relations Report. Oh boy, this is a lot more. As of yet, the relationship between the Kingdom of Sardinia-Piedmont and the United States of America has been generally cordial since the initial act of mutual recognition in 1802 between U.S. Consular Agent Franco I. Di Novoni. Cooperation between our two states is vastly expanded. On February 7th, 1839, the United States accepted the credentials of Count Augusto Avogadro de Colombiano as the first charge d'affaires in Washington from the Kingdom of Sardinia-Piedmont. And 1 year later, the United States established a legation in Turin with the first U.S. charge d'affaires presenting his credentials on September 15, 1840. U.S. involvement in the evacuation of Italian patriots during the wars of 1848 still lingers in the memories of many Sardinian citizens as well as the minds of the Austrian authorities. The United States, being a fervent defender of self-determination and democracy, very well favors our nation, although it has become apparent that any direct support from the United States is unlikely, as internal strife and the ideals of manifest destiny gripe the increasingly divided young nation. Review Sardinian and American commercial relationships. Can I get some more nachos? Oh, do you not have the book?
I can get you some more nachos.
Oh, thank you. Okay, I didn't know. Commercial assessment. The United States has, as of recently, grown to become a vital and lucrative partner in commerce for our kingdom. Since signing a universally amiable Treaty of Trade and Commerce on November 16, 1838, when U.S. delegates met with King Carlo Alberto Emmanuel II's father, our two states have enjoyed a pleasant and increasingly advantageous relationship. Shipments of cotton depart the southern states for Sardinian textile manufacturers, where this material plays a pivotal role as a prime material in the production of Piedmontese textile products. Similarly to other northern Italian textiles, the textiles from our manufacturers themselves are held amongst the highest regard in the consumerist economies of the northern states. The periodical increase in demand for raw materials, especially cotton, due to our ever-expanding industries over the past couple of decades, has left Sardinia-Piedmont in a state of near dependency with a lucrative cotton trade with the United States. Intriguing. Strategic assessment. In June of 1848, Carlo Alberto granted the U.S. docking privileges in the port town of La Spezia after intense negotiations. The United States greatly values this arrangement, seeing the continuity of its usage as a U.S. docking bay and refueling station within the Mediterranean Sea as of utmost strategic importance. Many conservative politicians in Parliament see the agreement as a breach of Sardinia-Piedmont's national security, citing that in addition to the arrangement displaying subordination, the United States may use its preemptive advantages against us in the case of future conflict between our two states and advocate for its immediate repeal. While it is universally understood that the United States would be understanding of our rapid change in policy and retaliation is not a concern, withdrawing such a concession would certainly strain relations with the United States, a nation widely considered to be of close confederity with our kingdom. This is a direct breach on national security. Repeal U.S. docking permissions immediately. We have enough enemies where it is. It's best not to cause trouble where it isn't due. Historical opinion. This is the historical option. Reaffirmation of the La Spezia. How's our... To be honest, I don't want to focus on the Navy too much. They like us right now. I think we should just do the historical option. Just, I'd love to keep my national integrity in check, but I'm gonna say I would value the United States more than just anything else. You know what I mean? Volta's battery? Good. Encourage assistance in Italy. Influence in Italy. Our agents are spread throughout the north of the Italian peninsula. Through cooperation with local national societies and hunting clubs, our agents have been able to build a network of resistance to the autocratic governments of the north. This network spreads support for our unification movement while arming resistance movements. We must cripple these nations from the inside. Duchy of Modena and Reggio. Isn't that the one I just signed a postal treaty with? Duchy of Parma and Duchy of Lombardy, Venetia. Huh. Support democracy in Tuscany. Tuscany holds a lot of democratic sentiment given the failures of the Grand Duke and his predecessors in the agricultural sector. With our support, democracy in Tuscany just might win against the autocratic Bourbons. Closing of the V Legislature. Today, King Victor Emmanuel announced the official clothing of the 5th Legislature of the Kingdom of Sardinia-Piedmont. The legislature lasted 3 years, 10 months, and 7 days, holding 3 sessions per Article 9 of the Albertine Statute. Camillo Benzo, Count of Cavour, presided over the entirety of this legislature. The elections for the 6th legislature will begin soon as our legislative bodies prepare to undertake the steps necessary to get the Risorgimento underway. Let the 6th legislature begin. Oh, I'm so glad I got just political power there. Let's do Belgian stuff so I can navigation and trade. Treaty of Navigation and Trade with Belgium. At the suggestion of our parliament, our diplomats have opened up negotiations with Belgium for a trade treaty to be negotiated. The Belgians have been receptive of our proposals and a new treaty is expected to go into effect soon. The benefit of good diplomacy. Cool. Hey, we have some people now. Cool. We have another division. I think we're gonna need to rush. Oh wait, post-war organization? Has completed post-war organization. What's that? Oh, I really need to go down that focus. Okay. That sounded like Guardians of the Galaxy for a moment. Support democracy in Tuscany. Supporting democracy in Tuscany, etc., etc. As our influence in central states continues to grow, the question has arisen to how much support we should dedicate to Tuscan democracy. The people of Tuscany are very supportive of liberalization, but many radicals persist to challenge our ideal for unification. Some fear that should we strengthen Tuscan democracy too much, their own radical movement may rise to challenge our hopes for unification. We must weaken Austria's spear. If Tuscany goes democratic, they will expect our support. If Tuscany goes democratic, they will not get our support. This is the historical option. So Tuscany would go support, and then... Where's Tuscany? The Grand Duchy of Tuscany. Oh, that's where Firenze is. We need to... For Steam, we need to take that over, so I'm going to go down the historical option as well. And just not support them. Memories of the Crimean War. The Crimean War was an opportunity for our nation. We fought amongst some of the other European powers against Russia and earned our place among some of the other major nations. Countries like France and England remember our participation in that war and are very open for diplomacy, and even some support the unification movement. Wonderful. Don't know what the sound tool payment is, but let's open that channel with the Danish. Yeah. Sound tool payments. As part of the Copenhagen Convention, which granted free passage to European shipping companies throughout the Sound Dunes, we are expected to pay a portion of the fees. Though costly, the agreement will make merchant deals between our nations much easier. That looks kind of detrimental, actually, because I'm not going to... Denmark's probably going to get wrecked by the Prussians soon. And Yeah, civil war in Mexico. Ever-rising tensions between the liberal and conservative parties in Mexico have been accumulating for quite some time now, and they finally erupted following the electoral win of the conservative candidate Felix Maria Zulaga only a fair few days ago. Militias in the army mobilized as country shatters and families are torn apart. Brothers gather in arms against one another, all hoping for their own victory. The country now stands at war with itself, and with an unforgiving question hanging over which of the parties will remain stable and prosper after the war, and which will be shunned down for the defeat at the hands of their enemy. Mexico descends into civil war. Mexico. Empire Great Chain and Repente Rebellion sent a peace. Open diplomatic channels with the Swiss. The war ends. Is the current song. Crimean War. Ooh. Sardinia-Piedmont, the up-and-coming kingdom in Italy, was until recently a lesser nation with little to no diplomatic power. Known only for its failure to defeat the Austrians in the past, the entrance and performance in Sardinia in the Crimean War changed this completely. Now that the Sardinians hope to undertake steps towards unification, they have been insistent that Europe not forget their actions in the war. Let us remind Europe of this. Only thing we can do right now is seek help from Britain. Britain remains a supporter of our cause due to our assistance in the Crimean War, but has yet to give anything other than diplomatic support. Anarchy-Geneva Railroad. Negotiated in part by private companies in the respective parliaments of nations, it has been determined that a railroad between Anarchy and Geneva would benefit the Swiss and Savoy people greatly. Anarchy is a hub for current trade between Switzerland and Sardinia-Piedmont, and so serves as an important role in the economics of both cities, a worthwhile investment. And what else? Border infrastructure investments. The Sardinia-Piedmont Parliament has suggested that infrastructure in the bordering areas of our nations be upgraded. National roads near the border are significantly lacking in proper maintenance, and with increased traffic between our nations, whether that be trade or movement of people, an upgrade is likely to be in order. A joint Swiss-Sardinian project could make quick work to upgrade the existing roads. Oh, so we're going to have a bunch of consumer good problems. That's what I'm hearing. That's all I hear is a bunch of consumer good problems. Crap. Factory industry. The future of Monaco. So I can do status of Monaco as well. Found naval command. Alright. feature of Monaco, so I could do that as well at any point. I could probably just annex Monaco. That's another reason why I won't want to. I really wouldn't want to do Monaco, because it seems like the Sardinia-Piedmont could probably influence me very fast. Seek help from Britain. Diplomacy with the British. Diplomacy with the British rests largely in the friendship of Camillo Benzo and the British legation in Turin, James Hudson. James Hudson himself is quite the Italophile, and his position in Turin held since the... What? Turin. And his position in Turin, held since the days before Benzo was Prime Minister, has convinced him of the need of support for the unification movement. Though he faces some ridicule at home for his position as a favourable ally of Camillo Benzo, he will be a key instrument for Sardinia in the attempts to get British support for unification. The Caligari case. Despite the good relations shared within Cavour and James Hudson, much of the future of the British stake in the peninsula will come down to the Caligari case. The Caligari ship was a Piedmontese mailing ship captured by the Neapolitans during the failed Sapri expedition. The British are interested because the crew contained 2 Brits. The British Parliament has agreed to hear the case during the spring of 1858. It will be here that Sardinia officials will finally be able to plead their case directly to the British government. Hudson has put in our best words for the cause, but the outcome of this arrangement will be uncertain until it is over. Bum bum bum. I don't know why I keep losing a bunch of legislative power. I need more than... I need to gain more of that. Napoleon III attacked with a bomb. On the 14th of January 1858, the Emperor and Empress attended the theatre on the Rue de la Pelletière. Orsino and his partners in crime detonated 3 bombs. The first bomb was thrown too far, but the second broke glasses, and the third destroyed the Imperial Luxury Salon. The Emperor and the Empress are covered in blood, but they are safe and sound. The steel walls of the car have protected them. The Imperial couple continued on to the theatre to show they are still alive. How will the French Empire react? They just had an assassination attempt. They're gonna have to, like... Dude! You continued to the theatre? Marian apparition in Lords. Oh yes, this is great. This is great. I had this one when I was doing Sue. This is cool. In the French town of Lords today, 14-year-old local girl Bernadette Sobrius claims to have been visited by a beautiful lady identifying herself as the Immaculate Conception. Already pilgrims flood to Lords, and many are attesting that the appearance of Mary has occurred multiple times. Townspeople claim that the water of the spring was suddenly clear, and now the Catholic Church is rumored to be investigating these claims. Sobrius describes the encounter happening as she and her sister were collecting firewood, only to see a strange woman resting in the nearby grotto. After a few nights of visiting the grotto, the lady revealed herself to be the Virgin Mary, causing an uproar between the townspeople. The French government and Catholic Church have interviewed the girl extensively, but she has said only the same story, leaving many believing in the verity of it all. How interesting. I never knew that happened, but that's pretty interesting. The arrival of Bixio. Jacques-Alexandre Bixio has arrived in Turin. A friend of both Napoleon III and Cavour, he has brought news that the French are seeking an alliance with our nation against the Austrians in order to finally remove them from the Italian peninsula and support our cause for unification. The Orsini affair is likely to have increased the urgency for the French to take a side in the Risorgimento, and it seems they've made the correct choice of siding with us. A meeting at Plombières. The French have proposed a meeting between our representatives in the town of Plombières in secret. This meeting will be the final step in an alliance with France as negotiations will begin on the terms of the alliance. It is expected that the main discussions will center around how the war with Austria will come to be and the result which will come out of it. I've completed the ally next door focus. Postal Convention with England. The Parliament has recently negotiated a new postal convention with the English. This will help international mail travel much quicker and with less hoops to jump through. Part of the agreement details increased communication between our two nations and the creation of mail lines supported by steamships, as well as coastal signal law. A new law has been signed with the English regarding the construction of signals between dangerous spots of the Italian coast. As naval cooperation and trade between our nations has increased, so have accidents and incidents that could have been avoided. The seas will be much safer now. Ooh, now I can complete future Monaco as well. Status of Monaco. Following the Congress of Vienna, Monaco was transferred to the Kingdom of Sardinia as a protectorate. The Treaty of Stupigny... Did I read this already? Stupigny in 1817 formalized the relationship between the Kingdom of Sardinia and the Protectorate of Monaco. The treaty was overall devastating for Monaco, and much of the wealth of the nation was lost, which was further inflamed when the majority of the nation declared independence during the revolutions of 1848. Since then, the areas of Risorgimento have been under the Savoy administration to cease violence in the area. As the struggle for unification is underway, many question what status Monaco will play in it. Shall Monaco be transferred to France, along with Savoy and Nice, in exchange for French support, or should we fight to ensure Monaco remains a part of the Italian sphere? I believe the historical option is that we just give Monaco to France, and I don't want to lose, lose French support over Monaco, right? But at the same time, I don't want to lose Monaco either. I mean, let's be real here. I mean, it's really not that much. It's really quite nothing. But I'm gonna say that's core Italian land. Hopefully the French will realize that it's nothing either and just give it to me. Oh, I can encourage rebels in Monaco. Oh, I see. Oh, I see. I actually have to do a whole thing with this. Okay. If I want to, like, annex Monaco, I have to do a whole thing. Okay, meet with the Russians. Diplomacy with Russia. Russia is the last European nation that might call Austria her ally. After the failure of Austria to help Russia in the Crimean War, however, Russia isn't eager to come to the aid of Austria. Our goal with Russia is to guarantee them their neutrality first, and if they can be convinced, we may be able to entice them into helping us. See how much support we can gather. Russian assistance in unification. The Russians have offered us assistance in the war against Austria, though the means of distracting the Austrian chiefs by stationing their own troops on the border with Austria. Steam was right! Wait, was it Steam? It was somebody who... it was the other guy who said Russia, they'll put troops on their border. Yeah, they did. This distraction will allow our forces to meet less resistance when fighting in Lombardy and should allow for a quick push all the way to Vienna. All the way to Vienna? We want to go take over the entirety of Austria? Okay. Unexpected ally. The Austrians will get a negative modifier thanks to the Russian... Yes. Diplomacy between our nation and Russia has been mostly positive despite the events of the Crimean War just 2 years ago. As long as our relations with France, who has a good relationship with the Russians, maintains its course, it is possible that we could find an ally in Russia that the Austrians would not have expected. Good, and maybe we can get some manpower out of that too. Protector of Monaco, autonomy progress under 50%. Decrease the autonomy. Yeah, I can just keep decreasing the autonomy of Monaco. Okay, yeah. Sure. No, I mean Monaco. Russian Empire took a state, okay. Under 50%, right? All I need to do is encourage rebels in Monaco, and I should be able to meet with Charles III. And if they don't want to... I mean, they kind of have to accept annexation into Italy at this point, right? I can make telegraphs now. Woohoo! Let's do... Oh, King Victor Emmanuel's military code. Okay. King Victor Emmanuel has long wanted to create a new military code. With war seemingly on the horizon, the need for such a law has finally been brought into fruition. The new codification will mandate 5 years of active service with 6 years in reserve up to the age of 30 with 50 years of obligatory training and instruction per year. Active service will be divided into ordinanza and provinciale. The new code also regulates that those who qualify to join the army, leaving criminals or exiles from joining the military. Cool. Good. Let's do it. Qing's put down another rebellion, but I'm guessing there's going to be another one after that. King Victor Emmanuel's military code. Cool. View the armed forces. Many minds, military and political alike, have high aspirations for our nation's military. A review of the armed forces will allow us to see what changes need to be implemented to ensure our success in the Risorgimento. The Turin exhibition. Following an unsuccessful exhibition in Turin in 1850, it was decided that another exhibition should be held in Turin in 1858. The innovations present in the exhibitions and fairs in Paris and London gave much prestige to the minds of those of respective nations. The Turin exhibition included many public industrial representatives showing off the work done by Cavour over the last decade to increase the industrial capacities of Piedmont. However, despite the impressive changes since 1858, it is still evident that Italy is struggling to implement innovations already present in Europe during the industrial sector. King Victor Emmanuel and Cavour were seen together during the exhibition. Someday we will reach greatness. Heishi declared war on the second League of Heishi. Okay. We're gonna go increase a conscription. Like, I don't want to increase conscription, but we need manpower. So I'm gonna say let's do that. Oh, I can meet with Charles III now. Meeting with Charles III. Nice. Soon I'll actually be able to have an army. And by that I mean I'll have enough to, like, guard my nation and... Bleeding Kansas. Yesterday, 30 men were executed point blank in Maries du Cygnus, Kansas, as tensions between pro-slavery and anti-slavery movement reached unsurmountable levels. The criminals, pro-slavery radicals, from neighboring Missouri have fled the area. Only one individual left has survived his wounds. No arrests have been made. Oh dear, I hope that doesn't start anything at all that will start anything very, very large in the United States coming up very, very soon in our time here.
No.
Do you know what I'm talking about here?
Caught me off guard, what?
Oh,
Oh,
did you read?
that.
Did you read? Did you hear what I was?
Just now?
Yeah.
No, I was reading.
Bleeding, Kansas. Basically, 30 people were executed point blank, and they were pro-slavery, who fled from neighboring Missouri. I sure hope that doesn't cause any other large problems within the United States administration that would cause any larger problems to happen to the United States.
Within the game?
Within the...
Okay, so it's been probably longer
It's
than
been
an
probably
hour.
longer than an hour.
I would wrap it up and go to
I'm talking about the I'm talking about the American Civil War, by the way.
Okay.
I mean, it's gonna happen, so why not? I mean, Caligari case. Oh dear. The Caligari case has reached Parliament, and now we wait to see how the British will rule on this matter. Camillo Benzo and a few other Sardinian officials have given testimony in this case, though some sources say they have been rather arrogant about it. Nonetheless, this case could prove to be an important stepping stone in relations with Britain. How did they rule? England withdraws the case. The British Parliament has withdrawn the Caligari case and has not made any statement in our support. Out of fears that a war would come out of this case, many of the earls spoke against siding with our government. Despite some strong calls in our favor and the argument that the British have an obligation to uphold maritime law, they remain unconvinced. Well, crap, that's not cool. Institute the National Guard. Yes, let's do that as well. After King Vittorio Emanuele's military code was published, Cavour had long dreamed of reforming the National Guard of Sardinia-Piedmont. With much of the nation's resources devoted to the military, the lack of a formal and organized National Guard stands out as much of a point of needed reform. Well, I'm going to institute the National Guard, and we're going to meet with Charles III, and we're going to do something that's not historical for once. We're going to go annex Monaco.
Really?
I believe so. I mean, maybe in the future that'll give us like an economic boost or something. I don't know. But we are going to annex Monaco. And I can't even click it. Meet with Charles III. With our influence in Monaco increasing and the people of Monaco in revolt, the time has come for our officials to meet with Charles III to discuss the future of Monaco. Our position on Monaco will need to be solidified going in. The future of Monaco. As the meeting is getting underway, the topic of Monaco's future is what is on everyone's mind. It is clear the Monacan officials are unsure what position we have currently, but our government has two options. We can either try to enforce the protectorate status to be made more permanent, or push for annexation of Monaco. Sardinia seeks to reaffirm protectorate, or pursue annexation. I'm going to say pursue annexation. Sardinia-Piedmont annexes Monaco. Following the Congress of Vienna, Monaco had made a protectorate of Sardinia-Piedmont. The Treaty of Stupingi in 1817 formalized the relationship between the Kingdom of Sardinia and the Protectorate of Monaco. The treaty was seen to be detrimental to the economy of Monaco and caused many citizens to lose trust in Prince Charles III. Ever since the revolutions of 1848, Sardinia-Piedmont has been occupying Menton and Rocabarna, two regions that declared unification with Sardinia-Piedmont. Now the rest of Monaco has been formally annexed into Sardinia-Piedmont. Any question if this was the will of the people of Monaco or the will of politicians in Turin? Monaco never was very significant. I need to like click on Monaco, but I can't. The United States of America declared war on the theocracy of Utah. Oh boy. Maybe Utah will win this time. They didn't in the Sioux. Yeah, I don't think they're going to, though. They're supposed to lose. That's historical. We have almost instituted the National Guard. After the formalized code by King Victor Emmanuel, there have been many military reforms suggested to the Parliament. One that gained a lot of traction due to the support from Caviar is the creation of a formal National Guard. The new National Guard will consist of a mix of local carabinieri troops, local volunteers, and some limited foreign volunteers, ready to be called into action when needed. A needed reform. Allows calling on the National Guard in times of war. Base war support 4. Cool, we have a nice war support as well now. Let's go with political concessions. After the Orsini affair, After the Orsini affair, the French people are more hesitant to join in our cause, but Napoleon III has not been deterred. Napoleon III has not been deterred. In order to gain them as an ally, we'll have to prepare to make some concessions to them politically. A meeting will take place in Plombières between Caviar and Napoleon III to discuss a plan for war against Austria and the future of the Italian peninsula.
I've heard that song. That song sounds like All in the Family or something?
The Night Before.
It sounds a little like All in the Family, like in the 70s, those TV shows. Something like that. That reminds me of something in there. Very... I mean, they probably got it was probably popular in the 70s, but I mean,
The night
40s, 50s,
before.
right? What year are you in right now?
Well, I'm in 1858, but it can jump from time to time because
All the music, yeah.
yeah.
Is that the wheel on your mouse?
Yeah.
Scraping like that?
Oh,
Wow.
the night before. Here it is. The night before. I'm not sure. I think it's just allies. Yeah, I think it's just an allied theme by Paradox that's
interesting.
probably pretty similar to something then.
Similar.
Huh.
Movie.
Yeah.
Black and white movie.
Yeah. I agree. I'm probably going to stop just about after I do political concessions to the French, and I think because that's when most of our things stop anyways. How's our navy doing? Oh, well, it's not too bad. We will need all of our political power for this coming political concession thing. This is going to take a lot of our political power. Ooh! We're gonna get infrastructure and railways soon. 5 days till that. Hopefully that'll give us back some of our industry. Hey, we got two civilian factories. Nice. This is the last time I'm going to be reading something today. Well, a large thing today. A diplomatic marriage. It is expected that the French alliance will not be concluded, and should we refuse to concede to some degree of territory coveted by the French, it is expected that the French Empire will seek to gain Nice and Savoy, having previously occupied them briefly during the Napoleonic Wars. French authorities are well aware that without said territories, southern France will be left with a broad breach in geographical defensibility. While Sardinia-Piedmont's ruling class believes in the principles of nationalism which Savoy would be undisputedly belong to the French nation, Nice has long been since a core Italian land. The loss of Nice would be an evident circumstantial dismissal of our core principles and will likely infuriate the Piedmontese populace. Additionally, Napoleon III insists on the marriage of Prince Napoleon Bonaparte and Victor Emmanuel's second's eldest daughter, Maria Clotilde, to solidify our alliance. Prince Napoleon has an egregious reputation of partying and other activities and would surely mistreat Maria. The king is not eager to see the marriage go through, but is prepared to make the sacrifice for Italy, prices that must be paid. A plan for Plombières. The Plombières meeting. So I will start that. Austrian influence must be removed from the Italian peninsula no matter the cost. Italy cannot truly be reunified unless steps are taken to ensure the freedom from the meddling Austrians. Luckily, Napoleon III of France shares with us a common enemy. We should send Count Caviar to meet with him, but none must know of this. We will disguise the trip as a mere vacation to Switzerland, while Count Caviar will travel on to Plombières, where the French Emperor has agreed to meet with us. Together, the two leaders will plan an invasion of the Austrian-controlled part of our beautiful peninsula and drive out foreign influence. We are prepared to offer Napoleon Savoy in return for assistance. With French aid, soon we will be reunified. I'm going to start... I'm going to send I can't improve relations to Napoleon yet. I can't help Napoleon yet. Will I be able to send? The last thing I'm going to do with this, if I can make it that way, the last thing I'm going to do with this is send some relations to the French. And then we'll be over. This takes a while to play, as you can see, right?
Yeah.
This takes... And we've made it through about a year now.
1 year.
1 out of 200. 1 out of 200. The Theodemocracy of Utah surrenders. Reports have come in this morning of the surrender of the Theodemocracy of Utah following the capture of Brigham Young by American forces. The short-lived Theodemocracy of Utah had faced numerous problems since its inception, with the heaviest being the American invasion, the lack of manpower, and the lack of equipment. After the capture of their leader, the already weak militia began to surrender until finally on 7 a.m., the 6th of August, 1858, the Mormon uprising was crushed. It is uncertain how the Americans will treat the Mormons now, but it is expected that the Mormons will be punished for their rebelliousness. And so ends the Mormon experiment. Do you know, apparently Utah was independent for a while. Like, apparently Utah and, like, they had Nevada and stuff, and they were just, like, chilling as Mormons. Well, they were a puppet of the United States still, but, like, apparently, I guess that, according to this mod, they were... or something, yeah. I don't think I'm going to be able to make the improve relations. I think this focus is going to... The Plombières meeting. After it was proposed by Napoleon's representatives for a secret meeting at the secluded vacation town of Plombières, Les Pains, motions to book a residence in the town for temporary residents underway. This meeting will be a milestone event that is sure to shape the future of the Italian peninsula, with much to gain or lose in regards to the Piedmontese and French positions alike. As the two diplomatic masterminds prepare to dictate the terms of the alliance, Italia Tarita holds her breath. Italy's fate awaits. Our goals. Sardinia-Piedmont's aspirations have been unique gratifications to be deliberated at Plombières. The memory of having been defeated by the Austrians alongside our Italian allies in 1848 still lingers in the minds of many of Europe's upper classes, affording us much difficulty in voicing our ambitions to the European powers of the world stage. Our participation in the Crimean War assured the grievance of Italian unification would become a topic of debate amongst European circles once again. The upcoming Plombières Agreement with Emperor Napoleon III of the French Empire provides us with the opportunity to align France under our ambitions to expel Austria from influencing Italy and our long-standing goal of uniting the Kingdom of Lombardy-Venetia with our own. Control of the researcher's Po Valley should afford with us the de facto geopolitical and economic homogeneity over the peninsula, regardless of probable French notions with the remainder of the peninsula. Let's hope for a strong alliance. The first day, following Cavour's departure from Turin, it was known that he would be traveling to Switzerland, with only the king and the Piedmontese military commander General La Maramora being aware that Cavour's final destination was to Plombières, and Cavour having rented to fine cottage on the outskirts of the small town. His meeting with Napoleon III is about to be underway, with the expectations for Napoleon to arrive in front of Cavour's cottage by the afternoon in a carriage, which the two statements will take a stroll through the quiet streets of Plombières, discussing the terms of the anticipated alliance. The leadership composition of the alliance's forces, a suitable casus belli against Austria, and the structuring of Italy upon victory are primary concerns. I'm not going to read anymore. I feel like I'm not... Just a moment, let me... Okay. Plombières, casus belli. Neither Napoleon III nor Cavour is eager to accept the blame for causing the impending war. Napoleon has made clear his determination to support Sardinia-Piedmont with all his strength on the single condition that the war against Austria would not be fought for a revolutionary cause and can be justified in diplomatic terms. The obvious contenders for proposal in order to soothe Napoleon's concerns are that of Austria's consistent violation of trade treaty obligations, which may be too weak a justification for use of aggression, as well as that the Austrian garrison of Bologna, to which the papacy is not permitted to indefinitely reside. While the garrison of Bologna may prove a sufficient justification and gain favor among other European powers, French troops are currently stationed in Rome, and the parallels may raise the question of French hypocrisy. I would say Bologna garrison, sure, their hypocrisy is probably a different approach. As expected, the trade treaty violations by Austria were considered by Napoleon to be insufficient grounds for war. Napoleon also displayed reluctance to accept the use of the Bologna garrison as pretext. However, it has transpired that Napoleon has an alternate proposal in which that he believes could provide a sufficient justification. Can you tell that I've read too much today? Using the recent debacle in which the Duke of Modena and Reggio, Francis V, refused to recognize Napoleon III as the true ruler of France. If the Modenese citizens would request protection from their Austrian allied government, it would give Sardinia-Piedmont the perfect opportunity to make a public announcement denouncing Austrian oppression in the peninsula. The subsequent outrage the proclamation might cause just may be enough to declare them the aggressor. Political structure of Italy. The geopolitical makeup of Italy, should the war against Austria prove successful, is a point of tension between Sardinia-Piedmont and the French Empire. It may cause a degree of political fracturing within the alliance after the war's completion. The French maintain the goal of gaining influence across the peninsula through means of an Italian confederation, reminiscent of that which operates in Germany. This directly opposes the voter-backed agenda, which has become popularized throughout much of Sardinia-Piedmont, advocating for the complete removal of foreign influence from Italy. Consequently, Sardinia-Piedmont conversely harbors the goal of creating a northern Italian kingdom within said conference, should its nationalistic agenda prove unfruitful. I'm gonna improve relations anyway. Political structure of Italy. Geopolitical makeup of Italy. Oh wait, this is the same one. This will be an interesting topic. Our position on the Confederation. As the French prepare to lay out their plan for the Italian peninsula, we must begin to think about whether the Confederation is something that we should go along with. Naturally, we can always give the French our assurances now and see if the future allows us to change the agreement, but we are not in a good position to deny the French goal of domination in Italy. With that, we are very stuck in this position, with the hope to escape it at first chance, or the very least, to renegotiate the terms of the Confederation. Alright, we will see what the future holds. North of Italy. Under the current plans for the political restructuring of Italy, Cavour and Napoleon agreed that Sardinia-Piedmont under the new Italian Confederation ought to be rewarded Lombardy-Venetia, what was formerly Venetian Istria, the duchies of Modena and Parma, as well as the papal legislations in Romagna to form the Kingdom of Northern Italy. This would see Austria entirely removed from the Italian peninsula and the creation of a new, powerful, independent Italian state. Central Italy. Central Italy would be reorganized again, under the rule of Roberto I, Duke of Parma. Roberto, being an adolescent, currently entrusts state legislation with Louis Marie Tolisti as acting regent. I'm not going to pronounce the name. France clearly believes that Louise may be more kin following a policy of clienthood with French Empire due to a francophone upbringing. This new central Italian kingdom would be awarded with the former Duchy of Tuscany, as well as the Marche and Umbrian former papal legislations. The Pope in compensation would be nominated honorary head of the Confederation, not that the papacy has much of a choice. Not like we're in much of a position to complain. The south of Italy. A fair degree of uncertainty came with discussions in the south of the peninsula. More likely than not, it would remain under the rule of the Bourbon monarchies of the two Sicilies. However, it is unclear whether or not the Bourbon rulers would be open to the idea of confederation should they be unable to be convinced of the merits of Neapolitan integration into the proposed confederation. It is almost assured that the two Sicilies would be awarded a Bonapartist relative of Napoleon II. Final piece of the puzzle. How the heck? How long does this go? A long day of negotiations, promises, and signing treaties. The previous day, Napoleon is due to pick up Cavalier once again to discuss the proposed marriage and finalize the terms of the Entente. Let's get it going. Military composition. The first and foremost topic of the day, perhaps might be good and the most dire, is that in regards to the military composition of the alliance. Given the war is over, Italian soil, Cavalier understands that having Sardinia-Piedmont lead the Entente forces in the conflict was constitute a symbolic vengeance for the defeat in 1848. However, the French consider it important that they show dominance in Italy and use the war as a political ploy for vengeance over the Congress of Vienna's terms. Whoever leads the military alliance will gain quite the sum of political utility post-war. As much as I want to lead the alliance, I'm going to give the French the alliance because the power to lead the military, because I don't have much of a military. I can't really lead much of a military. So go ahead. The French response is a little surprised, but the French have declined our request to lead the. I told them to do it. Our joint force, the French have the benefit of being a recognized power in Europe. So, despite our performance in the Crimean War, they opted to use their generals in most of the command positions. Despite this, our joint force shall have no difficulty removing the Austrian menace from the peninsula. Royal marriage. I would not. This is the. So basically, from earlier, it looks like. Perhaps I can protest it. I don't want to ruin it, though. A wedding in Turin. Despite the objections made by many, in the coming months, a wedding will take place. Shoot. The conclusion of the meeting. With the final deliberations concluded, the two parties may return home from the seclusion of Pombers and begin preparations for the imminent wars as the alliance detailed. The terms negotiations of the past few days have the capability to reshape the Italian peninsula and maybe the entirety of the European conflict to a new alliance. No national focus set.
Yeah, you need to get something.
I need water. Water.
It's been
Water.
longer than an hour.
Water. Let's from the Crimean War. Okay. During the time of this is the last time, 1858 to 55 to 1856, King Emmanuel II sent 20,000 Piedmontese soldiers into the Allied invasion of Crimea. The Piedmontese fought violently and bravely, and by the end of the war, only half their forces were lost. This war boosted the prestige and military might of our kingdom. We should take these lessons from the Crimean War and learn from our mistakes. That's got to be the most reading I've ever done in my life. I mean, out loud.
Yeah.
Out loud, that has got to be the first day. This has got to be the most reading out loud that I've done in my life. It's not like to a person. Well, it's to you guys, but like, holy crap. I'm starting to get sick to my stomach now. Okay, that's where I'm gonna call it. Where I start getting sick to my stomach because of all the reading. I'll be back probably tomorrow or something, maybe on the weekend. With that, you know what? That gives me a title, Weekend Invasion. And with that, I will exit the game. And I will say... Okay, I will do one final chat read, and I will do this.
Mm-hmm.
Rule Britannia. Britannia rules the waves. Oh, wait. You have to roll the R's. Rules can't rule Britannia. You have to roll the R's. I am a Anglo-Dutch Canadian loyal to the British throne. Oh, that's really cool. Does Taurus have Twitch? I believe you have a Twitch account, but you haven't streamed yet. Right. Also, how did you and Taurus get your YouTube names? That's an interesting thing. I came up with it in the car. My YouTube name is literally that I came up with it in the car one day and went, you know what? Sounds good.
If you want to come up with your own name, you should go with something that's going to be futuristic or timeless. Something that is part of you. I just happen to be a Taurus, and I've been using that for another site as well for a long time. So it's just
another site?
Oh, I use it on eBay.
Oh, I see.
I haven't sold
probably not TaurusClub though. But yeah, Taurus is a Taurus.
Whatever's closest to you and you want to represent something. If you but something timeless.
All about soul, all about heart and soul and time.
That'll be still really good enough for you, for everybody around you. 5, 10
years later.
Years from now.
Cool. Also funny, Germanic told me you and I have the same name spelled differently. I believe so. I won't say the name on stream though. Yes. Hey, how you doing? I'm doing very well. How are you? I'm sorry I didn't reply to your chat. I had to read a lot. Yo, railways. I love railways. Yes, me too. I love the J-15s. What classes do you like? Classes like types of engines. I have zero knowledge of tanks, beside Thomas the Tank Engine. I have zero knowledge of trains. I also like the P-class. Oh, I'm also a Thomas the Tank Engine fan. I like Thomas Wooden Railway. Yeah, so are we. I used to watch that a lot. Yeah. Okay, I accidentally closed the tab. What merchandise lines do you like? I like TWR. Lol. Okay, when will you take some... Oh, jeez, his color changed from blue to purple. When will you take some Italian land? The next stream, I'm sure, because I'm preparing now. Civil War soon. Oh, no, USA Civil War. Yeah, in real life, they were from 1858 to 1859. Oh, we entered 1858, didn't we? We were getting close to the end, so that is going to really kick off soon. Not 1857 to 1858. Why would Bonaparte's work with Bourbons? I don't know. The name sounds similar. Lol, okay, bye, TDK. Lol, mine is because of Thomas and Friends, Steam on Soda 1937 Studios. Because those are the videos I make. I spent $300 on eBay like 2 days ago. It's cool. It is cool. It's cool to spend money you made. Yeah. Yeah.
But not too much.
But not too much.
You have to be a little frugal.
You do.
But you gotta treat yourself.
Sometimes do you want to voice chat for fun? I don't voice chat with anyone. I mean, I don't voice chat with anyone. Again, it's not personal.
You might make some time.
Maybe, but well, you know what? You did have interest in the SMP. That would be the voice chat. That would be the voice chat. You had interest in the SMP, and that would be where it comes from. So if you had interest in the SMP and you wanted to join the SMP, that would be where voice chat would come in. I don't voice chat with really anyone, but like I would say like probably gonna be the SMP. That's about where it is. Okay. With that, thank you for watching. It's been 2 hours, and I'm so ready to just relax. Thank you.
Namaste and good night.
Namaste. Good night.
Peace.
Thank you for watching. This is the Dynamic of the Game video, and what were you gonna say?
Namaste, good night, and peace.
And peace. Can you watch one of my YouTube videos? Absolutely. Send it to me over on Discord. Okay, bye!